Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio.
where we keep going, baby. You thought we were done, you thought wrong. It's part 2 of our hopes and dreams from Walt Disney World in 2024
Yeah,
and beyond.
and beyond. Yeah,
Yeah.
we had so many hopes and dreams that we
Mhm.
needed to talk about, and we kept talking and talking and talking. We had to split it into 2 segments.
We didn't even know where the time had gone. We've
yeah,
done so much speaking.
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like we could go for even longer, to be honest. I have
yes.
so many things that I ultimately hope for Disney. So being able to name some of the ones that we feel might be coming down the pipe.
Yeah,
It
yeah, and
was
you had
kind of
one that we
fun.
didn't, and we had one we didn't mention, right? That you,
Oh.
after the fact, we were like, oh yeah, we probably should have.
That's right. I forgot that the Country Bear Jamboree was getting updated with new songs.
New
Disney
songs,
Disney
yeah,
songs.
Disney songs.
This upcoming year. How do you feel? You're a big Country Bear fan.
That's a stretch.
You're the biggest Country Bear. No, I'm just kidding.
I like Country Bear Jamboree as a nostalgic
Yeah.
thing, and I really, really loved it when there was a Christmas layover because it was our
Right.
biggest Christmas layover in Walt Disney World,
True to form.
and they took it away.
Right. But I think you also enjoy Country Bear Jamboree the same way that I do from a historical
yes,
context.
yes,
It's a pretty cool piece of Disney
there,
history.
There are a few songs that I have been for the past handful of years. Should they really be playing this?
Yeah.
So I don't know if but I'm not against it. I didn't want them to really shut it down. This is what, in my opinion, I think this is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, not getting
rid
out.
of it. Yeah.
Just kind of a reskin. Well, not even. Just kind of a rearrangement.
New songs, yeah. If they do it right, it might be great. I hope that it's funny.
You know what it feels a little bit like? This was universally hated, so maybe I shouldn't say this. But the Enchanted Tiki Room under new management.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh no, everybody hated that. I never saw it, but it sounded better.
There were parts of it that I think were, because they introduced
because it was funny, right?
Yeah.
Well, it had Iago.
Yes. Well, some would say that the original version is funny. I guess it depends
on your sense of humor.
Yeah. And if you were born in the 1950s or not. But it did introduce an animatronic, which is cool.
Into the new Tiki.
Yeah, there was a goddess that came up out of the ground, and she was angry.
Yeah.
And now that goddess, I think, lives in Trader Sam's, the bar in the Polynesian, which is pretty cool. But they added things. They added new animatronics. They added new birds. They added stuff to that.
Yeah,
but people did hate it.
Yeah, I know. People were so mad. It was everywhere.
Yeah,
but I didn't see it. But in theory, it sounded like a good idea. In theory, this Country Bear thing sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I hope it's good.
So I really liked the idea of them adding some newer humor into the Tiki birds. But again, I didn't see it, so I don't know. I just knew that some of the characters that they added were funny.
What songs do you think are coming to the Country Bear Jamboree? I feel like perhaps You Got a Friend from Pixar's Toy Story feels.
I have no idea.
Oh, something from Bare Necessities.
Yes.
Obviously,
it would be ridiculous if they didn't.
Okay, definitely.
But I just really hope it's funny.
I feel like it's got to be.
That's the thing that I like about
new
Country
voice
Bear.
recordings.
Weird.
They're all gonna have new voices.
Do we know anything about the Melvin and Buff, the whole the guys on the wall?
Oh, if they're staying around or not?
Yeah.
I bet they are.
They were really the clickiest. It's not clicky, right? It was squeaky.
No, they click.
Click.
They click.
The clickiest of
their
all of them, right?
And stuff. Yeah.
I hope if they keep them, which I hope that they do.
Uh-huh.
That they get, worked on so they're not so.
Aren't they just hanging in the dark in the Disneyland version in the Winnie the Pooh?
Yes,
ride?
The Disneyland version's gone, and they are hanging in the dark if you turn around on the Winnie the Pooh ride. That is something we uncovered when I did research on something.
And if you want to learn even the Country Bear Jamboree, I think.
Oh, yeah. I was like, surely not the Winnie the Pooh, right? Yeah.
You would never choose to research. Somebody had to force you to research the Winnie the Pooh ride. Anyway, if you want to hear more of our hopes and wishes for the upcoming year, then continue listening, and you'll get excited for things that maybe you didn't even know that you should be hyped up about in the upcoming year, and it'll be fun.
Yeah. Some of this stuff's actually for sure happening, and some we're hopeful for.
Yeah, some of the stuff confirmed.
Come hope with us.
Yes, come cross your fingers and enjoy optimism.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
Enjoy the show.
Enjoy the show. This part of my list is stuff that I know is happening and I hope goes well. So here are those together.
Okay.
The Little Mermaid show, the bake shop on the boardwalk.
Okay.
Cake shop.
Yeah.
Because we've
been walking by it for a long time.
For so long.
Yeah.
And as a gesture of goodwill, I want them to put the annual pass photo perk back.
Oh.
I want that back. That would be great for that to be included again. I'm sorry, that should not be lumped into my list of things I know.
Would you trade it for for fast passes a month?
Of course I would take the fast passes.
Yeah, me too.
I would
I would also pay a little add-on for a few fast passes a month. That's what I'd rather not, but
I feel like my option is pay, I think it's $100-ish for the year for the photo pass thing. I think that's
it was last year was $99.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's what I paid for that versus if I want to pay for fast passes, I have to first of all buy Disney Genie Plus for the day. Mm-hmm. And then I have to buy
individual lightning lanes.
If
you want to do both. You can just do one or the other.
Right. Or just do one or the other. But an individual lightning lane is how much at the lowest?
I've seen it at 10.
Like $10
per person. So that all good and well if you're one person. A little bit worse if you're a family of 5.
So let's assume
but it's usually 11 to 15.
Right.
16. I've seen it higher.
Maybe 6 lightning lanes are the value of an entire year of photo pass. That's tough.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. So by their dollar, right?
By their dollar.
Right. But really both are free to them. So I don't see how it would be
They're both imaginary.
I mean, I'm sure it costs money to run that, but not photo pass more so than lightning lane. But I think either way, one of those would be an easy perk to give away because it's not really costing you much.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Sorry, I started complaining.
It's okay. It's okay.
Okay, and the last thing on this top part of my list is that they said, I guess maybe on the blog or something, that they were going to start thinking about. I love when Disney says they're going to start thinking about something.
Did they?
An advanced rollout of advanced lightning lane. Being able to schedule a lightning lane.
Ahead of time, yeah.
Now, no hard commitment, no anything. Just we're thinking about it.
Sure.
Is all they said.
Yeah, well, I mean, I would imagine it'd be difficult to figure out, to be honest.
To figure out how it would work?
Yeah, unless you're saying it would be just like Fast Pass used to be.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, if they're going to do that, that would be cool.
That would be... Yes, that would be cool. Just because I do hate being on my phone nonstop the whole time I'm taking my family on Genie Plus in. You can't get off your phone. You can't.
Yeah, somebody has to lose their vacation to their phone.
Yeah, which is fine for my family because I go all the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I can sacrifice that. But
it does suck.
But I'm gonna have to, and I'm gonna have to do it when we go to Disneyland, and that's that's not where I live and go all the time. So
I bet most families who have a teenager are just designating the oldest child.
I don't know. I've talked to a lot of maybe that would make sense. I've talked to a lot of moms that do it.
Oh really? And they can. Yeah, I know. There's definitely I've met a lot of moms who are when it comes to being on top of their vacation, they're, I can see why Disney Genie probably appeals to them, because it's like
anybody that's a planner by nature,
right,
is going to be the one that does it. And it's also in some ways it's fun, because you get like a satisfaction from finding a difficult lightning lane to get. You know what I mean? You find satisfaction from getting everybody on 12 different rides when you know that if you had waited in line, it would have been 3. You know what I mean? I'm talking about on a really busy day.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. It's in that way, it's nice.
They don't even know that you're...
It's nice when they know. It's nice when they know.
No. It is nice when they know. But if you're
a lot of work.
If you're doing that for someone, they might not even realize how big of a difference in their overall vacation you're making.
Yeah.
By playing by every rule that Disney has for you to play by.
Yeah, if you're not the planner in your family, thank your planner, because it's a lot of work. Your vacation's a lot better when somebody's doing that.
Or send a fruit basket to your travel agent.
A fruit basket.
An edible arrangement, perhaps.
Yeah, edible arrangements are awesome.
Yeah, you know what? I would never turn down an edible arrangement.
Who knew I liked pineapple dipped in chocolate until I got an edible arrangement?
Until you had 5 sticks of it beautifully inserted into an edible arrangement.
Who knew?
Do you have stuff left?
I do. You want me to go?
Yes.
Okay. I would like Jollywood to return.
I'm sure it will.
Okay, but they didn't really say.
No, they didn't.
So that's like
I agree.
I think this one will happen.
I think it's
But
very
I think
likely.
this year was beta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I liked it. I know some people didn't like it, but I think they did it wrong.
I'm obsessed with the idea of it.
I know.
A glamorous old Hollywood Christmas.
Oh my God, amazing. I just hope they add a parade to it at some point. But I think that it went really well. The food there was way better than the food at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, in my opinion. Although this year we didn't do much because we had such bad food last year. We did some, though. It was better. It was better than last year.
I've just had enough bad Magic Kingdom party food experiences.
It's hard when you spend as much money as we spend on it. Yeah, and then you're like, oh, everything was kind of mediocre.
It's good to hear that the food was good at this
Some of it was better, and some of it was better at Very Merry this year too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I should probably should have. We should probably do a vlog or something about it.
Oh,
because I just did it. It was in the middle of my Christmas thing.
Right. Save it for July.
Oh yeah, we could do a Christmas in July.
Hey.
That's about when the Very Merry Christmas Party tickets are about to go on sale. That's when we're gonna do it. Tune
in. Stay tuned.
Star Wars Hotel minus the cruise aspect is on my list. I would love for the Star Wars Hotel to just be a Star Wars hotel that you can come and go as you please and cost considerably less.
Okay.
I'm fine with it. I'm not fine with. Fine with is a strong word. I understand price-wise it would be similar to the other deluxe resorts, which are a little out of my budget, to be honest.
Grand Floridian pricing.
Yeah, but that's much, much, much better than what it was before.
Yes, agree.
And I'm sorry, you're locking me in there for 3 days. It never sounded like a good idea to me.
I was against it from the beginning.
I was against it from the... Yeah, I really was. So if that... It's just there. It's there.
Yeah.
Everything's done. Do it.
I didn't even think about this, but yeah. It would be great to see them do something with the property. I don't know if my heart can take too many more abandoned buildings.
I know.
Just kind of sitting around.
Especially one like that it's also brand new.
Brand spanking new.
Everything's new. The beds are new. The screens are new. The carpet's new. Let's do something with it.
Has there been such a failure of a hotel? Ever?
Not in Disney. No, not that I know of.
It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Because the cast members love their job. I saw people posting like videos and photos of things on the last day.
Yeah.
Stuff that would make you cry because it's so clear that these people are so passionate about the experience that they were trying to create.
Yeah.
And it lasted for like nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right. So it made more sense to take something like one of the other buildings that sits there now, but they served a purpose for 20 years, so nothing was new. This one, it makes no sense to let it sit there.
Right.
Like that at least needs to be something I feel like that we get announced at D23.
I just got a notification. It's on Airbnb. You can you can book a.
He's joking. He's joking.
Book a night. It's only a matter of time.
I have 2 more things.
Okay.
How many more?
I've got a bunch of D23 like stuff.
Okay, well, one of mine could be considered a D23 thing.
Okay.
And then the other one is not, would be that some of the menus at some of the less impressive restaurants be upgraded.
I put specifically Hollywood Studios.
Oh, yeah.
I would, yes, dining in general, I would love to see. Maybe it will take a new senior vice president of food services or something.
Well,
I don't know that exists.
Okay.
I'm just saying it might take a new somebody in charge.
Sure.
For that to happen.
They're starting it though. You know what I mean? The newer restaurants coming out have better food. Topolino's breakfast, Topolino's dinner, phenomenal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's a newer restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Even the revamp to Storybook Dining at Artist Point, which is just a revamp of Artist Point, the food's very good.
Right.
It's the older ones that the menu hasn't been touched in a hot minute that need.
Even in the parks, I think the newer restaurants are also better.
Skipper's Canteen.
Skipper's Canteen, the Pandora Quick Serve.
Yeah.
Docking Bay is good.
And those are all new.
And, there was another one I was thinking of, but it's gone. Well, that's unfortunate. But, yeah, I think some of the newer restaurants have been showing Disney, flexing their muscles a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is nice to see. I hope that does continue.
Yes, and doing a revamp to some of the ones, especially buffets like Crystal Palace and Chef Mickey's.
Right.
Even if you want to leave half of that stuff as, let's call it basic food, and step up on the other part, it is possible to do a buffet that's not all bland, coldish food.
Well, we're going to one soon. We have Beaumont is kind of our golden example of good Disney buffet.
Yeah.
I know that one has a specific theme, so it gets some culinary help there. But there's no reason that there can't be thematically tied in stuff to Chef Mickey's or whatever. Usually they tend to do Walt's favorite stuff. Well, if they want to do a really good, Walt's, a carving station where you can get a sandwich that Walt Disney would have wanted or something like that.
Yeah.
If they can find ways to incorporate the theme into offering better dining selections, that's more than just in the breakfast with pancakes and eggs and the stuff that you would find anywhere. It would be cool if Disney could find some ways to do what you're saying.
Right. And I think that they need to remember the costs that each person is spending. Because and we did Chef Mickey's. I did Chef Mickey's with my family over Christmas. I have a 2-month-old nephew, so taking him to see characters was a priority for me. And Topolino's wasn't an option. We wound up at Chef Mickey's because of last minute
You gotta
planning.
do what you gotta
do. You gotta do what you gotta do. And I wanted to try it because it's been a long time. And they had a few dishes that had more flavor than what I had remembered. There was an Asian dish that was better than what I remembered, and then a shrimp scampi that was pleasantly garlicky, but neither one was really super hot. And at the end of the day, it was $75 for each of us, including tax and tip, I think. So, and that's with the pass holder discount.
That's a lot.
So that's a lot for still mediocre. Maybe slightly over mediocre, and low value foods.
And why cold?
Yes, I know.
Or lukewarm,
right?
At the buffet doesn't have to be like that.
I know.
We've had buffets where all the food is hot,
right?
Piping hot,
right? And I've been to good gourmet buffets in Vegas, so I know it can be done.
Regular rotation.
Yeah, regular rotation, higher quality food, put less out at a time. You know what I mean? There are things that you can do. Anyway, that's a big thing for me. If I'm spending that much money, I just want it to be better.
And that's reasonable.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're talking about hopes for the D23.
Yeah.
Announcements you're hoping for?
Yeah, we talked about a bunch of these. Something that just like I expect or what I'm hoping for is like more information about Dinoland, because for the last couple D23s we've been talking about that space and the plan has changed.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I feel like they kind of owe us.
Yeah. Like a real plan, like with some concept art.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I feel like now that Epcot is done, I say in quotation marks because we're still waiting on one more building. But now that Epcot is done, I think the Animal Kingdom is obviously going to be the next to get a major overhaul where they like wall up all of Dino Land. So we should get, you're right, at least concept art. I would imagine before D23, wouldn't you?
Maybe they'll announce a firm anchor attraction over there first and then wait until D23 for concept art, or maybe they'll do the opposite.
Yeah. I would love to I almost hesitate to say this because you'll know. But we had that thing in Epcot in the Odyssey where it showed us what was coming.
The Epcot experience.
I
loved it.
I loved it too. I would love to have something like that. But then we were like, why did you show us this stuff that never happened? But that was just COVID, right? Maybe that was because of COVID.
I would attribute that to COVID.
Okay, yeah. So then maybe they could do that, but hopefully nothing terrible and world-shattering happens that messes it up.
Right.
Because it was very cool with all the concept art and the music and the
projection mapping.
It just made you so like hopeful and excited.
That was the most Epcot thing I felt in years.
I know.
It felt so Epcot. With like optimism about the future, technology, like it did everything. It was everything.
I recorded like a 20-minute video of it to send to my brother. And it was crazy.
It's so silly how like this little projection preview center was like one of my favorite things to do in Epcot.
Yeah.
But it was.
It was fun.
Yeah.
And it was like all around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like immersive.
I feel like we should get something like that for Animal Kingdom. But if nothing else, concept art, a plan, knowing where it's going. If they're going to do like a whole land all at once and wall it off, I just hope it goes faster. I hope it goes faster than Epcot. Well, and better.
There will be a pandemic, God willing, in the middle, so that will help. I have to say, it is very exciting to be potentially receiving a new theme park land. Mm-hmm. That's like a big deal. It's not just one attraction. It's not just whatever. And Dino Land is a pretty big land, so I'm interested to see how different they go. Do they go Central America? That's very different from Dino Land.
Yeah.
Like, that's a whole new...
Well, yeah. I think they pretty much committed to doing something wildly different than Dino Land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what's coming too. But in the interim, God, I mean, are people... to be mostly pass holders going to Animal Kingdom at all, right? Like
Pandora,
if you take out,
it's still a draw.
Yeah, and I love Everest. I mean, I'll still go.
Yeah, Everest turns out is not so much. I mean, on busy days, it gets,
Yeah, you're right. It's not that big of a line as much as you would imagine. I love Everest.
Yeah.
Pandora is still a big draw. Kilimanjaro.
Pandora is really the main draw of the park, I think, right now.
Yeah.
Like, people who are there are, of course, going to do the safari because they're there.
Right.
They're going to do Festival of the Lion King because it's right next to the safari. But I think they're going for Pandora. Yeah. That's what's on all the billboards. Sure. That's what they're selling. And until Dino Land turns into Indiana Jones.
Or whatever, yeah.
And Coco and Moana and Encanto. Oh, boy.
Or whatever. We don't. I just don't.
That's what I'm hoping for at D23. Is I want to know what the whatever is.
Yeah, because this is the information we've got is all over the place.
My brain is melting.
You cannot combine all these things in one land. I'm sorry.
I think they just renamed the parking lot signs again.
Yeah.
Encanto and Moana.
Yeah.
Everybody's here.
So yeah, that will be exciting. And then maybe when they open the new land, we'll get our hours back.
Yeah.
They'll have to keep it open until at least just because it'll be so busy because of the new land.
It'll solve itself.
Maybe.
And the quick serve will open as a result of that in Hollywood Studios. The monorail will extend, duplicate in Magic Kingdom. That will solve the transportation problem. No, I'm just joking. But But you're literally right. Of like, if they
bring a new land,
they
add a new show to that river area, because why just have it sitting there?
That was the last thing on my list.
Oh, sorry.
No, perfect.
I just thought of it.
That's my whole idea. What you just said. Put a show in there.
Yeah, they need a show in there. It's not just sitting there. They don't have a show. They don't have a night thing, of course, because they're not open at night. But yeah, put a show in there.
I'm glad you're thinking about this too.
Stay open later.
Yeah, because like later hours for Animal Kingdom was one of the main things that I'm hoping for. So I thought I would. I don't know.
You thought you'd be on your own for
I just thought you wouldn't maybe care that much.
Oh, I do
have
care.
It on your list.
Yeah.
But yeah, Animal Kingdom at night, I'm like...
My favorite time at Animal Kingdom is at night, because it's
so
pretty.
It's the only time I'm really enjoying myself.
Yeah. The lights that they've got back there, like by Everest, that are like the Edison kind of lights.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. They don't have that anywhere else. You know what I mean? In any other of the parks.
And there's just something about the ambiance of like all of the trees, all of the plants.
Pandora was created to be like luminescent at night, and people are missing it. Yeah, that might be in non-Christmas times. That might be the prettiest night park.
Waterfalls.
A little hard because I love the Epcot ball at night, but
yeah, and Main Street is beautiful at night.
Yeah,
but they've each got their own little draw. But Animal Kingdom just has its own special, unique nighttime quality that is being robbed of us all the time.
Yeah, I love the way Everest looks at night.
Oh my
I love riding Everest at night too. Anyway,
have you ever taken a night safari?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've done it one time.
Yeah, they say that the animals are more active then.
That's what I've heard. How was yours, like, full of animals?
I don't remember it being wildly different than any other time that I've
Wildly. Yeah, I'd say the same. I thought it was a very, like, I thought it was basically the same experience.
But it was good.
You do see some stuff that stuck out to me, like, you can see where Primeval World used to be from on the safari.
Really?
And I didn't know that until I rode it at night, because there's a light that shines on it that like makes it very obvious that it's right there.
Really?
But you don't even see it in the daytime.
It's like the opposite side of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Crazy. But yeah, that really stuck out to me. But the actual experience of the nighttime safari I thought was kind of the same as during the daytime.
Yeah, but every time's different, so it could definitely be better statistically, you know what I mean?
We never have talked about this, but the safari is just like Jungle Cruise, where I think your guide totally makes or breaks it.
I agree, and they think that too.
Who?
The cast members that do Kilimanjaro safaris. I've talked to one of them for a while about this. They think they're better than Jungle Cruise. The guy was joking with me about how they're better than Jungle Cruise because their animals are real.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's
like,
shady.
if you can get a cast member joking about how it's got to be a thing. You know what I mean? That they talk about.
I would take so much pride in driving that Jeep.
Yeah.
And delivering my spiel. I get that it's rigorous in its own ways. Yeah, I think that, you know what else was like that? Jaws at Universal Studios. That really stands out with me as one of those attractions where the guide really makes or breaks it. That's an interesting, maybe we should have an episode where we talk about guided attractions.
Okay.
Do you remember?
We can do that next week if you want.
Yeah. Do you remember when Living with the Land had a guide on it?
Yeah. Okay. Was I not talking to you about this recently?
No.
Okay. Then I think I must have been talking to one of my family members about this recently.
I would have been much more interested.
Yeah. Yeah. Although they weren't trying to be funny or anything, so it was still a.
Oh, the guy. I thought you meant your family. They weren't trying to be funny.
My family's always trying to be funny. Oh. The guide on Living with the Land was just doing a spiel. You know what I mean? Although sometimes that's how Kilimanjaro is.
Yeah.
Or maybe more so a while back.
Kilimanjaro?
No,
I think Kilimanjaro is still dry. I think they need more shows.
It is dry, yeah. Because they used to have the whole thing with the shooting and the elephant.
Yo, that was wild.
Yeah, that was acting.
They need. We rode the train again, and I recently, and when we did, they have that part where Peter Pan is on the top of the train, but it's only through the narration and the speakers.
Okay.
Like he lands on. I'm doing quotation fingers at the camera, audio only listeners. Peter Pan lands on the train, and then,
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay.
I believe you, but
we just did it together.
I know, but sometimes we're talking. You know what I mean? Or other people around us are talking or crying.
They had this
screaming.
like pre-recorded bit. There is screaming on the train. There was this pre-recorded bit that they did over the speakers where Peter Pan's landing on the train and stuff, and I thought that was really that could be applied to a bunch of rides. I thought,
yeah,
that should happen on the People
Peter
Mover.
Pan could land on everything.
No, in Tomorrowland, in the People Mover. Oh, I was gonna say it could be Stitch, but
it could be Wally.
Oh,
or Buzz. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, well, we can do a thing on guided tours. There were some that were guided that aren't guided anymore. And then we were talking about, maybe we should talk about it on that episode. Well,
they've kind of gone out of fashion.
Yeah. Well, or they don't want to pay cast members, which you think.
Right. Now it's just pre-recorded.
I have one more for what I'm hoping from, I guess, D23. I hadn't considered that, but do you have a bunch more?
No.
Okay. Do you want me to do mine or no?
Yeah.
Mine's an offshoot because it's not Disney World.
What is it?
Okay, it's Disney Cruise Line.
Oh.
I'm hoping they announce another day at sea option.
Oh, cool. What would you want the theme to be?
I don't know. I don't know. Right now, they've got Marvel and they've got Pixar. I wouldn't mind them bringing back Star Wars because I never got to do that one.
Seems like the obvious choice.
But they did it for a long time.
Yeah. But Star Wars is still hot.
Yeah.
It's still
They're bringing they're adding new ships. They've got a lot of people in the Castaway Club that have done lots of cruises, but to make it different, having this day at sea option is really fun.
Right.
So I think adding another one would be great. Because then it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going on this boat that I've already been on, but I'm doing it for this theme.
Villains Day at Sea.
Yes, but I was told that they did that by a Disney Cruise Line cast member. She said that they did a Villains Day at Sea like way back.
Cool.
So I don't know. She said they had a show and everything. But I know that they've kind of perfected the Day at Sea thing now.
Right. Formulaically.
Yeah, because Pixar Day at Sea was just started last year. So yeah, formulaically, it'd be cool if they brought it back improved.
Yeah.
Because I'm guessing there's a lot of people like me who just didn't cruise 10, 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So
there's a whole new audience.
Yeah, right. And even somebody that did, like if, let's say, and I have no idea when they did Villains Day at Sea, or if it was even called at Villains Day at Sea at that point, it could have just been a Villains Day.
Villain
themed
night.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Let's say somebody did that in like 1999 or 2001, they'd probably be down to do it again.
Yeah, why
20-something years later.
You could practically have all new villains.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
There's no
exactly.
shortage.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it could be brand new. Even if it's Star Wars, there have been whole new movies out.
Yeah, and they usually incorporate the and I haven't done Pixar Day at Sea yet. I'm going to soon. Like later this month, we'll definitely have a thing.
Yeah.
But I know that they usually have some sort of night show that takes place on the top deck. And like with Marvel Day at Sea, it had some fireworks. And there was like, because it's a show, there's got to be some drama, right?
Yes.
So the villains, I mean, that stuff writes itself. We've already got stuff like that. You know, the villains try to take over. Who's going to win ultimately? There'll be fireworks.
A cauldron that shoots something
essentially
out of it.
Phantasmic.
Yeah.
At sea.
Yeah, a bunch of variations of Phantasmic. I love that.
Me too. And that kind of thing was, which fireworks show was it that really did that? Wishes?
With villains?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wishes had a whole villains part, right?
I think so too.
Definitely in Happily Ever After. Well,
then maybe Happily Ever After is what I'm thinking of, because I don't want...
Have you seen Happily Ever After?
I think so. I'm not really... Until recently, you guys, I haven't been able to see the projections on the castle. So I didn't really do a lot of the fireworks shows because honestly, I was a little salty about not being able to see it.
Right. You felt excluded.
Yeah, I
Right.
couldn't see it, so what's the point? I could hear it.
Very fair.
Yeah. So I would kind of experience the fireworks shows like as this is happening in the background situation, not like
Yes.
I'm gonna go camp out and watch it, because even if I went and camped out and watched it, I wouldn't be able to see it.
Sure.
But now we've kind of figured some stuff out, kind of.
They've got projections on Main Street now too, so
yeah,
at least
it's
you
gotten
can have something
better.
to look at.
Yeah, and maybe it's just been through trial and error. And certainly during the shows now, I have new appreciation for the castle projection and fireworks shows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because
totally.
I can see everything, and I'm so impressed.
That makes total sense.
But anyway,
because you got
the Very Merry Christmas Party and the Halloween party, I've been able to like get up close enough to see without having to camp there for hours.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I had to be real close.
Yeah, and it's
and kind of at the front of where something's in front of me that won't be a human.
Right, a stanchion, a trash can, a tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
When Jake and I went to the Halloween party last year, we like kind of got up against the line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so I used
front of the line.
There's a tape line on the ground where people can walk across. So we were like we got right behind that and kind of hung out there for a bit, and then I was able to see because there was nobody in front of me.
Yeah, that was ideal.
Yeah, and I did. So I used that again this year. That tactic. I was like, find the tape line.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's
so for
really
anybody shorter, but you do have to get there a little earlier, especially if it's not a party, which is less capacity.
Okay. So what is your official advice for those people?
To get there as early as it takes to get on a tape line.
Right. Pretty early.
Yeah.
How many hours before the show do you think?
I have no idea because I haven't done it. I've only done it at parties.
Right.
And parties are totally different because the capacity. I don't know the specific capacity, but it's definitely lowered.
Yeah, and if it's a busier day, the lining up for spots for the fireworks starts earlier because people know it's crazy and they want a spot.
Yeah,
so it can change.
At New Year's, it's like 10 a.m. People are. I can't even imagine. It's like I know. It's like the New York thing.
Yeah.
I don't get it. And I just don't think I could handle that, but props to you guys that can.
It's certainly an interesting way to spend your day in a Disney theme park.
Yeah. It's commitment. So that was it.
The only other thing I have on here is that if this one is super unlikely, but I would love it if they uncanceled one of the things they canceled from Epcot.
Mary Poppins?
Any of them.
Oh, any of them.
Wonders of Life replacement called the Play Pavilion. Mm-hmm. Mary Poppins attraction, Spaceship Earth update, whichever.
You really don't have a preference?
I just want them to apologize.
It feels weird that they canceled a bunch of stuff and then they're like, okay, we canceled this stuff because we don't have the money for it. And now they're moving on and spending money on other things. Yeah. That doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, and perhaps
it feels like those things should have priority above the new things.
Maybe, I think there's that what you said earlier, like feeling like they were done with Epcot. I think
they just want to be done.
I think that's what they want. I think they want us to feel like they're done with Epcot.
Well,
I think they want to feel like they're done with Epcot. Sure. And I think they want to move on.
I don't think the Mary Poppins thing would close down much.
Yeah, it would just probably get rid of that stage back there in the gardens.
Yeah. Which is nice.
Pavilion. It is a nice stage. Maybe they could relocate the stage somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that I thought something that I was excited for was I felt like they weren't going to have to. I do love that back outdoor space back there in the UK Pavilion. Yeah. I would be sad to lose it.
And you can hear them like from pretty far.
From the
and they're always doing songs that everybody knows.
Yeah. But if we're gonna lose something, an outdoor pavilion stage is fine.
Yeah.
So I was excited.
Yeah, I don't even think they would have to like reroute traffic. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just like an expansion.
And there usually aren't very many people back there. So it's not really the same as them shutting down the whole front of Epcot for 5 years or whatever.
Now, for that one, the concept art of the attraction did leak. So we were able to see basically what that
They were planning.
And it was this large turntable that had a bunch of different teacups on it, and you were going to be in a simulated environment with like projection effects of all kinds happening around you. Was the idea.
Like a ride?
Yeah, like a it's almost like a teacups ride, just with it's like how Guardians of the Galaxy is just a roller coaster, but it's got like cool spinning technology, and it's got, you know, a lot of exterior effects. This would be like the teacups, but with a lot of exterior effects, which I guess is cool. But I don't, whether it was that or the play pavilion, which they never really went into like extreme detail about.
It really sounded like innovations to me.
That's a really, but with meet and greets, they've said you'll meet characters here. So I was like, oh, it's interventions with meet and greets. That's what I thought.
It's like a combination of old innovations and new innovations.
I would love for them to just put like interventions in there. If that's what they were planning on doing, then I would be ecstatic about that, because I loved interventions.
Sure. And what a great place to hang out in the rain.
That's so true. There's so much to do.
Yeah.
Just spend your time at one of the many stations.
Yeah.
Yeah, or the Spaceship Earth update. That'd be cool.
Yeah, but they were planning on shutting that down for like 2 years to do it.
If that's what they have to do, that's what they have to do.
I just don't see why it takes that long.
Because that's because, you know, they built Spaceship
in
Earth
2 years.
in
Yeah,
2 years.
I think that it was 2 years. If not, it was 3. Right? That was kind of the shocker for me. Let me see if I still have this.
I think I remember you saying it took them less time to build it than it would
to redo it. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't think I have that note anymore because I've had a big note.
Really fascinating.
Yeah, that I think, unfortunately, that's what always confuses me when they're like, "Oh, it's going to take we're going to shut down for this long," and I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah.
This whole park was built in. just kidding.
But yeah, obviously things are different now. Everything is different now.
Right.
But yeah, it is kind of head scratchy.
Yeah.
How can this weird fact be true?
Right.
How many Spaceship Earths could fit inside the Guardians of the Galaxy? Right. That's another one where I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
You're pulling my
leg. Are you sure?
Right.
I'm standing right here.
Let's fact check this information.
Yeah.
All right. Those are some of the things we're hoping for in 2024. I think it's going to be a big year for Disney.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good vibes. I feel like this was a monumental year, this past one. So much opened. So we'll see if they can, you know...
Keep it going
for the new year.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and last year they announced a bunch of stuff for cruise, so the cruise line too. So that's exciting too. I'm excited for that to keep moving forward as well.
After your cruise, maybe we should do like a cruise update special.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I think we've got a lot to talk about there.
Yeah. The next boat comes out at the end of this year, the end of 2024.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to get out there and wave our hats. In the meantime, you can follow us on social media at Neverland Navco on Instagram and TikTok. And if you want to watch the visual version of the podcast, you can check out our YouTube channel and subscribe to us there and like the video. It's Neverland Navigation Co.
Yep. And then we've got an Etsy shop called Neverland Navigation, where we do custom shirts and like dish towels. But you've got to send us a message and say, hey, I love this ride, this character, whatever. And then we will send you some ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's more of a talking custom shirt shop than it is like browse around. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Am I saying this well?
Yeah, you are. You visit the shop and say to Morgan, say on there, I have this idea for this t-shirt, or I love this ride, I love this thing.
Or yeah, my favorite ride is Carousel of Progress.
Right.
And then I will send you some ideas.
I would like a Carousel of Progress shirt, and I would like the text to say, what happened to the mystery child helping the mom with her laundry in the first scene?
Yeah, and I want Pluto on the back. Oh, and I can do all that.
Pluto on the back?
Yeah, totally random.
Love it. The planet? No, I'm just kidding.
I could do that.
Okay. All right. Now we're talking. That would be the strangest shirt.
Yep.
What did I do for? Okay, now what? The podcast. If you would like to, if you would like to make our day, you can leave a review for the podcast on whatever listening platform you happen to be on at the moment. We love to read the reviews. We love hearing feedback from you guys. So let us know if you've enjoyed this, the experience, the listening experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
And until our next listening experience, we'll see you guys
on our next adventure.
That was rough. Bye.